First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you could never really know what's up next.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for upNXT PostWrestling.com, Apple Podcast, Spotify, whatever podcast app you choose to use with your ears, or
YouTube.com/postwrestling. Hello, postmarks.
hello, postmarks, upNXTperts, NXT friends. We are here to talk about NXT tonight, as we always do every Tuesday night here on the Post Wrestling feed, because like you said, we are your NXT friends, and NXT is the A show.
Oh yeah, stacked show.
Welcome to the Tuesday Night Wars next week.
Yeah, it's coming back.
That's right, and we're still here. Look at that. We made it through the colorful paint of mud of 2.0, and we're back. John Cena, Cody Rhodes,
Paul Heyman,
Asuka,
yep,
The Rock and Stone Cold one more time. Bret Hart and Shawn gonna reunite live on TV. CM Punk returning next week. The hologram of Eddie Guerrero gonna show up next week on NXT. They're pulling out everything for next week for Title Tuesday, as AEW was putting for their special Dynamite, which has been announced for the Copes debut match, which we'll talk about in a second. But like, damn, NXT out the gate. This is a fun episode to watch because every few minutes they'd announce something and we were just watching this
hilarious. Yeah, I think it's quite interesting. So they kind of said that with these, impending TV deals, they realized, maybe we should try and make this show seem more valuable. Yeah. And I think NXT is actually in a really good place right now. I think despite the trash that was the 2.0 era, I think we've started to see some real good homegrown talents emerge. And I didn't get a chance to chat about No Mercy on Saturday, but I thought that was a fantastic show. I think Tiffany Stratton again just absolutely killing it. And yeah, just top to bottom, really fun show. So now they're past. There was when kind of AEW started, and it felt like the end of that black and gold era. It just wasn't quite what it was at the end of that network time.
Yeah.
And then they threw the towel in. It was like, right, let's do 2.0. But now, yeah, they want NXT to seem as valuable as possible. And I think all these main roster involvements have been really successful so far. But yeah, fuck it. Why not? Put Cena on next week.
Yeah. So are we going to be doing two TVs at once? How are we watching this? We never did that. We were so passionate about NXT when AEW was head to head with NXT on Wednesday nights, right? That's what it was. We would watch NXT first and watch AEW. We'd go out after the show, grab last call, and then come back late at night and watch AEW. That was our routine. Unlike most people, I think they would flick through different channels or watch things on different monitors or things like that. Because we did it once or twice. And
I can't focus.
You can't focus.
I can't focus, especially if you're taking notes and whatever. Yeah. It's not enjoyable. I'd rather just enjoy both shows. So do we just DVRs exist for a reason?
Yeah. I mean, the real Tuesday Night War could be us versus Pollock and Ting.
Yeah.
So what's going on there? We can't both go live.
Why not?
I mean, we could.
Why not? We've got Cena.
Yeah, we've got Cody.
Yeah.
What do they got?
Asuka. Well, no, we've got Asuka.
Yeah, we've got Asuka.
Yeah. Well, they got Edge.
Yeah. We got Lola Vice.
That is true.
Exactly. Yeah. So the Tuesday Night Wars will happen. We'll still be doing the show, I guess, in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah,
I imagine we'll be live.
Either on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll let you know. And you know how you can find out?
How's that?
Follow our socials.
At Poisonrana Pod on Twitter and Instagram. And follow us on Facebook. It links you to the Facebook page, which we have a group, the Poisonrana group on Facebook. And we share memes and fun wrestling stuff. And that's how the real news breaks and the real conversations and arguments go down in the Facebook group, not in the DMs, but the Poisonrana Facebook group. So follow us on all the platforms because we do so many podcasts, and we will jump into some NXT. But yeah, a lot happened. Check out our review of No Mercy, as I was joined by the birthday boy John Cena Evil on Saturday. We ran the whole card. What are some quick thoughts from watching that?
Well, yeah, I thought the two main events were fantastic. Like Melo v Ilya just bought it. Was definitely a step up from their first encounter. And just I'm blown away by Tiffany Stratton, to be honest. Every time we see her, she's showing vast improvements. Had one of Becky's best matches as well.
Yeah.
And Becky's had a few. I thought that
was
her
face.
You see her arm,
yeah.
Becky's arm
and Tiffany's face. Oh
boy, like they beat the shit out of each other in that match. And I think we saw that as well with the Becky Trish match not too long ago. That I think, Becky's fighting with a bit of a chip on her shoulder right now. And for me, she's probably the most exciting woman in the division right now. Like for me, like way more interested in a Becky Lynch match than I would be like a Charlotte Flair match at this point.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think there was a time I was the other way around, but I think she's been fantastic for NXT. I like these through lines of, her kind of having this story with Tegan Knox on Monday that follows through to Tuesday. It's working, but love those two matches. I actually thought Corbin and Braun was pretty fun as a bit of a Hoss fest.
No Vaughn though.
Was disappointed no Vaughn.
Yeah. You never thought I'd hear you say that. That you were disappointed that we didn't.
I was so disappointed.
Look at us all now.
I thought No Mercy was a great show.
Yeah. The Melo Ilya match is just like I still think about it. I gotta rewatch it. Just that's how you know a match is so good when you gotta rewatch it. And the same could be said for Sunday night Wrestle Dream. I mean, we'll be going live this Sunday for a new Poisonrana around 2 p.m. So join us on our YouTube and then hit that subscribe on our own feed because we do so many other podcasts, and we'll definitely dive in with some more thoughts and everything going on because there's a lot going on with Wrestle Dream not only being a fantastic show. I mean, we had some buddies over, we watched it, and I think all of us just our minds were absolutely blown when we watched Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr.
Man, I haven't found the time to rewatch this yet, but this might be my match of the year.
Incredible.
We were watching it, so I think they go 22 minutes, something like that. And around like halfway through, we went, "Have either taken a bump yet?"
I don't even think they did,
and I don't think so. I think so. I want to kind of go back. I want to count how many submissions, how many different submissions in that match there are.
Definitely broke the Guinness record on that one,
and like how many bumps there were because I don't know. There's that story. What was it? Lance Storm and Jerry Lynn who went out and was like, let's have a one bump match,
right, and
see if we can still entertain. I kind of felt like Danielson and Sabre Jr. were going here. Let's see how many submissions. Let's try and break the record for the amount of submissions in one match.
Yeah, I wonder if we run it back at Wrestle Kingdom because after the after match kind of stuff that's been floating around online is Zack Sabre Jr. in the promo is saying like we wrestled a submission match and then in the end you hit me with a strike.
Yeah,
like, screw you. So rematch. Yeah. So I'd imagine the Tokyo Dome is where it'd be. So.
I think you're going to the Okada match though at the Tokyo Dome.
Oh, for Danielson.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, true. Right.
Yeah, I feel you've got to run that one back. But definitely, like that's one you can.
Yeah.
Whether it could be just a big episode of Dynamite, it could be a pay-per-view. I imagine New Japan will want to have Danielson at some point.
Sure.
But yeah, I definitely think we'll see that again. But for me, that was match of the night. But,
oh my god!
Like you could Hangman and Swerve was fucking awesome as well.
Insane, man! That was one of the best pay-per. They're on an incredible run. Say what you want about ratings or people in the audience. When you watch it, they do such a good job of hiding, no matter where they are. The crowd always sound loud. They put on fucking so good of a show. Like the pay-per-views are so worth it to watch.
I really think kind of there were criticisms going into All In and All Out. And I kind of felt that Dynamite immediately after All Out was sort of resetting everything.
Right.
You know, Punk's gone. It's a new era. Who are we focusing on? Who are our characters? And it seems to be, you know, like Hangman, let's get him focused in. Swerve, he needs to be elevated. I think they've done a great job with Ricky Starks on Collision in having him feel more like a bigger guy. And I felt like the build to this Wrestle Dream show for me was a lot better than it's been in the last few pay-per-view cycles.
Sure. Yeah. No, I thought it was a great show. There was a few matches on it that were like match of the year contenders, but Danielson and ZSJ just, oh man, just insane. But then of course, Christian Cage and the huge turn of Nick Wayne. I mean, how could we even see that coming? Jeez.
I think we called it.
Yeah. His mom was really upset though.
Nick, what are you doing?
Nick, no.
You're grounded, Nick.
And then she's just like, it'd be kind of better if she just joined, you know, like, you know what?
It's going to happen. Isn't it?
That's probably it.
They're just giving her acting lessons right now. See if she can.
I want to see her, you know? But no, the Cope, Edge, the rated R superstar, Adam Copeland, showing up in AEW. And not only that, you thought you knew him?
You never did.
We do that a lot when we're not recording. We always, one of us will say, "You think you know me?" And then the other will.
This is weird Judgment Day one.
Yeah.
You
So,
never did.
Edge brings Metalingus. Is that how you say that?
Metalingus.
Metalingus sounds like another word. By Alter Bridge, and that is just even like the cherry on top of everything. Him explaining how he got the song and everything is even funnier. Like these boys with the band and stuff.
It's one of those things where, like, it reminded me of AJ showing up at the Rumble. You know, you kind of thought it was going to happen, especially when they announced. Why else really are you having Christian and Darby as the main event?
Yeah.
And that's not a knock on them. It's just this pay-per-view's kind of been built on this dream match of Zack Sabre Jr. and Bryan Danielson.
Yeah.
So as soon as they announce that, you're like, come on, why else? And then you've got the beat down and you go, okay, it's happening.
Yeah.
But it's still not until you hear the music, see him come out and you go, wow, it's happened.
Yeah.
He's in AEW now. And
pretty crazy. Like he was a lifer, right? His whole career is basically there. I mean, he was Damon Stryker for a hot second, but like he was WWE forever, got injured, came back, and it's just kind of crazy.
And it sounds he sounds to be quite honest about his departure. Like still like he reminds me of Daniel Bryan, even the way he left, you know, having a kind of, is this his last match on SmackDown? Bryan did the same with the like loser leaves SmackDown stip against Roman, and then absolutely not burning any bridges, but him saying, I felt we grew apart essentially. Like he was only contracted to 10 matches a year. By the sounds of it, he wanted to do more, and he's talking about doing, you know, full-time schedule, dynamites and collisions and stuff. So, and was kind of, you know, it was unfortunate because you had the pandemic for a lot of his run, plus injuries, and then you just never really, and then his feuds went on forever as well. And I think there were a bit of some missed opportunities with certain matches you could have done. Yeah. And I think that's why he's like, right, well, let's try and burn through as many as we can in however long his contract is.
Yeah. Meanwhile, his best friend's like, yo, look at me. I'm as old as you. I'm almost 50 as well. And look, I'm having the fucking run of my life. People are saying it's the best work.
That's what he said as well. It's like pretty much, I want to end my career with him.
So like Devon, I hope you're in the gym getting ready. I know Bubba's working out on Busted Open, but we need it. The TLC one more time. No, like Edge being from here, like he's a real six god. Like he's the wrestling legend when it comes to this city. And right away, I mean, we joked before even All In was an actual idea of them doing Wembley. We were joking for weeks, like, hey, come, we live right beside the Skydome in Toronto. And we're like, yo, Tony, come do a big, huge show. You want to do that? You got one part of the key to doing that is Edge. And I mean, you have Christian, you could do that, but also Kenny Omega or, you know, Chris Jericho or something.
That's right. Like I want to see Edge, Kenny. I see Edge, and for some reason, I feel it's going to be against Ricky Starks, but I see Edge doing the Foley spot, being the one eating the spear through a flaming table.
Jeez,
you know, like now he's at that point in his career. Yeah. I think they're not really doing flaming tables in WWE anymore. I can totally see him having some insane death match against a Ricky Starks or whoever.
Like growing up, he was just one of my favorites. And his wrestling, you know what? He has some amazing matches. Check out our Best Match Ever Edge. You put it out for free now. Check out the Spotify link to our Patreon, and you can access it there for free on the Spotify. Unlocked for free.
Yeah.
And it's us going through all the best of Edge. And I mean, we've looked through some of his best stuff and proved like, oh man, he's a great wrestler. But I can't wait for some of the promo battles that he's gonna, because he's
he's definitely absolutely now after like kind of retiring, going into acting and stuff.
Yeah, no WWE writers.
So much better.
Yeah. I want the rated R Superstar. I have so many of those rated R Superstar era t-shirts from those days, and like he was like pretty gangster at some of the stuff he would say. So
like him and MJF have to be a thing at some point.
Exactly.
We need MJF heel again for it. I guess.
Yeah.
Really excited. I love the little video as well with him kind of driving away from a stadium with the fireworks going off in the background, like he's leaving WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Did
you hear the story about this? He asked Darby,
right?
Like, hey, I'm doing this. Can you help me get like a car and film crew to do this? And just so happened the night they were filming was a baseball game.
Oh,
and the fireworks are going off, so they just started shooting, and it kind of that's what we all thought. Like, it's like he's leaving WrestleMania,
yeah.
And it's oddly does kind of
it's perfect.
did fit that.
Yeah.
I thought, pretty cool. I don't think this guy's gonna have a lot of bad things to say to WWE.
No,
like he's not that kind of guy. And I know he says he's gonna end his career here with Christian in AEW, but I'm sure that's like probably a 3-year contract. I'm sure he's already a Hall of Famer, but like I'm sure he goes back for like one last WWE thing eventually. But
we can finally get the tag team to just really confuse JR, Edge, and Griff Garrison.
yeah, that's right. I mean, we'll get through to the Edge versus Christian match.
Yeah,
we got to get Edge versus Christian in a TLC match, like proper. Let them go balls to the wall, just them, and then have them eventually.
It needs to end with Christian like crying, like broken, like why have I become such a dick? I just missed you, Adam. I just missed you. Some reason I started hating dads.
Well,
I missed you.
You know the funny Edge. If you've read his book, he doesn't know his dad. His dad's never been in his life. So Christian's got some bullets in the chamber ready for.
You know what? We have also seen Gangrel in AEW.
Oh my God, the Brood. I mean, are they allowed to use that music? I don't think so. He uses it on the
He
Indies.
played it at Command Lucha.
Yeah, he plays it. Yeah, he plays it on the Indies. But wow, the Brood and the Hardys. Wow, this is great. Wrestling's back, man.
The Hardys with Isaiah Casti, though. It doesn't quite feel.
Is that the guy who moans?
Yeah.
Wrestling's great, man. Wrestling's better than all the other shit people like. Everyone's going off about Taylor Swift and this football player. I'm like, man, Shibata wrestled, dude.
Imagine that's what AEW need to do. AEW just need to get Taylor Swift.
Jeff Jarrett needs to call Taylor
to
Swift.
Date one of the wrestlers.
Yeah, get some other celebrity to just date one of the
Who would you pair Taylor Swift with in AEW?
MJF
to get their ratings up. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, she'd write so many albums.
So many songs about him. Yeah. You and you know she loves scarves, right?
Right.
Nothing about scarves. Yeah. Everyone's going off about Taylor Swift. Oh, you know what though? Everyone's going off about the Golden Bachelor. And then I'm at work and one of our satellite feeds, they switched nights. So they put it on Thursday night. I'm like, should I watch this? So I watched the Golden Bachelor and I think I'm a fan now. Like this is
the old one?
Yeah, it's all old people.
Okay.
It's this one pimp daddy who's looking for his old wife. And it's a bunch of like 60 plus people and trying to find love on a reality show.
I go on one of them one day.
Yeah, because then after this ended, it was Bachelor in Paradise. This is my first time like fully like watching these kinds of shows. I've seen so many clips.
Getting up with way soon.
I need to way
about
Bachelor in Paradise. That's the one where it's like they put like a few girls and then like a few more guys, and then it makes people like get catty and fight over like.
I don't think I'd be good at that.
You don't? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe you wouldn't be.
Yeah, I'd just be best friends with everyone.
Yeah. You could be the bartender. There's a nice bartender on the episode.
Oh yeah,
that reminded. Yeah, you could do that job. He gives advice, says go for it.
Chris Leone suggesting Taylor Swift and Hook.
Yeah, I mean,
Hook, that would
Hook's
work.
Gorgeous. He should definitely find a celebrity.
Can you imagine Hook bringing Taylor Swift to Taz? Taz just singing her songs.
We're trying to say Taylor Swift should date a wrestler. She's taken right now, apparently.
Okay. Braden, I've read this story before.
Yeah, and the other album and the other one.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe we need like lower tier like celebrities. They've tried to bring in Shaq and stuff, but we need someone like dating.
No, I'm just like, if she dates one of them,
Yeah.
AEW wins.
Yeah.
Like, think of the ratings. Just
Think
Taylor
of it.
Swift's front row at Dynamite
Just loving it.
to cheer on Luchasaurus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She can sit next to green shirt guy and Brock Lesnar guy.
My favorites.
So yeah, those are some thoughts on everything going on. We're gonna go live Sunday, like I said. We'll do a new Poisonrana chatting about some No Mercy and some Wrestle Dream and Edge and everything going on in the world of wrestling, including Fastlane, which is Saturday night. So we'll get to chat.
No time to breathe.
Yeah, maybe we'll push back a little on. Maybe we'll go 3 p.m. You want to do 3 p.m.?
What was it?
You got to watch Fastlane, right?
I've got to work at some point.
Yeah.
Maybe 3.
We're calling it on the fly here because I'm like, I work too.
Yeah,
so
okay.
3 p.m. on our YouTube. We're going to talk about Fastlane and everything going on. So come hang out. And if you miss it, it'll be on our podcast feed as well on the Poisonrana feed every week. See No Evil, Shot in the Dark. He's going to cover everything else in the world of wrestling you may not know or watch or even know is a thing happening, and he talks all about it in 15 minutes or less. Sino and B Detroit put out a updo that was pretty awesome, catching up on Heels. RIP to everyone's favorite wrestling show. They chat about that and some video game stuff, and then I'm going to do a detox with Jordan this week for free as well. So look out for lots and lots of shows.
Yeah, I mean, we've moved to StreamYard today.
We moved to StreamYard. How do we look?
I think we're looking good, and we've got a fancy schedule on there. So if you look at our screen, everything coming up this week. Obviously, we're recording UpNXT tonight. Tomorrow, we're going to be releasing a new episode of What's Next, talking about the February 5th, 2014 edition of NXT. We're on the road to arrival.
Yeah, this is pretty great. We started this podcast What's Next when we started our Patreon. It's like, hey, why don't we just watch NXT from the beginning? And we've been going through like everything, the Shield, the Wyatt family, the NXT title tournament, everything up until now. We've passed the Sami Zayn Cesaro feud, and it's kind of heating up to the big match at this arrival. So this podcast is going to get even more fun leading up to this big show, and I can't wait for it.
Thursday, John's going to be releasing Shot in the Dark on this on the Poisonrana free feed. Friday, you've got Detox coming out with Jordan. Yep. Any idea what you're talking about this week?
No, but I do have to ask him about those aliens. I got to know what he thinks.
What he thinks.
Yeah.
Then Saturday on our Patreon, the long-awaited review. We keep on meaning to do this one on National Moth Day, and we forget. But it's finally...
But every day is National Moth Day, if you think about it.
Richard Gere, Laura Linney, and Deborah Messing in the Mothman Prophecies.
Wow. We just lost a lot of people.
I can't
like,
wait
what did they just say?
to rewatch this.
Sorry, I thought this was a wrestling pod. Yeah, so...
it's spooky season.
Yeah, it's spooky season, baby. It may be summer outside, wherever you may be, but it is spooky season. And this movie has been brought up in so many different conversations on so many different podcasts. So we decided, fuck it, let's just do this movie. And I'll tell you, I watched it today. It was really hard to find. It was on no streaming service. So I can't believe it. We bought it. We rented it on YouTube. But you know what? It was worth it because Richard Gere, what a handsome man.
Oh, yeah.
What's the deal? I know he loves hamsters, but now I know he also loves moths. And I can't wait to review this movie over on our Patreon because it's pretty spooky. And we're going to talk a little bit about the lore of the Mothman. And I would love anyone to message me
an underrated monster, spooky
urban myth
thing.
Yeah, underrated. We've talked about
it's like the original Slender Man, kind of, I feel.
Yeah, Indrid Cole or whatever they call him. Yeah, exactly. Mothman. Is he real? Anyone seen him? Let me know. Hit us up about your favorite Mothman stories, and we'll talk about them over on the Patreon. Getting spooky, kicking things off. Later this month, I mean, we just put out a review of No Mercy 1999, which was awesome, chatting about Edge and Christian versus the Hardys in the ladder match, in the ladder match. But also this month, spooky season is going to be great because we got so many other things coming out. I know Dickie Bird's got a review out there coming out, Antichrist. Sounds very scary. Yeah, sounds terrifying. And then obviously on the free feed, our Halloween 6 review coming out. So lots and lots of things.
Friday 13th, part 3. Whew. There's a Friday 13th in October this year.
Have we decided?
How spooky is that?
That's crazy. So yeah, we're going to be doing one of those. What Halloween Havoc are we doing?
It's going to be 1998.
Wow. Yeah. Halloween Havoc 1998. So yeah, sign up to our Patreon. We are your favorite small-time content creators, and it's only $5 to become a friend, and you get access to all these podcasts and everything else that we've done in there. And again, it goes to keeping the lights on.
Yeah. And if you missed it on Sunday, I was joined by Martin Bushby, Brannon from New Jersey, and Dickie Bird to announce their brand new show, Eagles Don't Hunt Flies, debuting on Friday 13th next week as they go through the life and career of Jon Moxley.
So every month?
They're doing it by like rivalry and stuff like that.
Okay.
So one week they might look at like the him versus Rollins. I think they're starting with Nick Gage, their rivalry. They'll be looking at some of the podcasts he did with like Austin, excerpts from his book and stuff like that. So really going all over the place.
Excellent. All right. Can't wait to hear that.
Check out the video that is on our Twitter.
Yes, Dickie Bird.
Awesome.
Excellent. Lots and lots of podcasts. Poisonrana.ca for everything that we do. Subscribe. Tell a friend. Tell your mama.
Yeah. I too. Why not?
Yeah. Fuck it.
Listen to it twice.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, shall we do it?
It's NXT.
It's NXT time.
That's right.
NXT from October 3rd, 2023, live from the Capitol Wrestling Center. Man, it's hot today.
It is.
It's
you
really
put
hot.
the AC away the other day.
I know. It's like, I think we're done with this.
Yeah, I'm sweating now.
It's so sweaty. We're shiny. We're shiny on StreamYard today. Well, we kick off the show with Becky Lynch coming out. Huge reaction from this crowd. Lots of Becky chants. She says the man has come around to NXT, and she says the man is still the NXT champion. Big NXT chants. It's not easy to say.
NXT.
She says, but after a brutal Extreme Rules match, the man is not medically cleared to compete tonight. But I made sure Tiffany Stratton wasn't either. And we beat the ever-loving piss out of each other at No Mercy. And every time I step into the ring, I want to give it my very best. And I want my opponent to do that too. And Tiffany did just that. So I told you that I wanted to elevate this title. I told you I wanted to bring it to new heights it's never reached before. And I'm looking to find a contender for the next big event, night 1 of Halloween Havoc. And that's if I get over my roadblock of Tegan Nox. And obviously we didn't get the Tegan match on Raw this week.
Yeah, because she's injured.
Yeah. Tegan's unlucky a lot of the time.
Damn.
Yeah. This when Lyra Valkyria's music hit, she comes out and says, June 26th, 2014 was when you made your NXT debut, and that happened to be the very first episode of NXT I saw. And as a young Irish girl, seeing you in the ring, I started training that very week. Your debut kickstarted my career, and the whole world knows you as the man, but do you have any idea what you've done for Irish wrestling and for me? She says she attended the biggest wrestling show in Ireland in front of 2,000 people. And during an advertisement, your face flashed across and the crowd just roared. And this was really inspiring for me. I was able to push myself that bit harder and go that extra mile because I saw that you did it and you could do the impossible. You were even the first woman to main event WrestleMania. And there's big time Beck's chants. And she says, but your career is coming full circle coming back here. And the other week, I stood with you in the main event of NXT, but as good as that felt, I was wondering how it would feel to go face to face with you. And I don't know if you think I'm ready. And the crowd are like, there's one guy pretty much front row going, yeah, she's ready. She's ready. And Becky kind of looks and gives him a little nod. And Becky says, I know you're ready. Before we move on, what did you think of Lyra here?
Yeah, I like the making it kind of personal and bringing back I can just imagine Lyra watching Becky doing the Irish jig and being like, wow, I got to do this. I just have to do this. No, but it's cool making it personal and kind of making it seem a bit more real. And you know what? Becky is a huge star and is inspiring young women. So yeah, I did like that. I like Becky as well, kind of saying, not just saying like I beat Tiff as well, like also Tiff putting Tiff over. Yeah, Tiff definitely like fought me hard and how good that match was. So yeah, I like these two. I wanted to see these two wrestle, which hopefully that's the match. Wink, wink. Yeah. I thought Lyra, I like the content of it. I still feel she's kind of trying to find a voice. She still doesn't sound completely confident on the mic, but I think a promo like this, where it is very personal, it actually worked quite nicely here. And then we have a bit of a surprise when Indy Hartwell
comes out.
Indy Hartwell.
Big indie chance.
Her theme is
It's her name.
Yeah.
We said years ago the best themes are the ones where you can sing their names to it.
Yeah. Where's Indy been? She was injured.
So yeah, she won the title.
Yeah.
Got injured, vacated the title, and got drafted to Raw, and she's barely been on TV.
Wow.
Well, she kind of brings that all up. She says Becky isn't the only woman who came back with a point to prove. Nowhere in your speech did you mention that I became NXT Women's Champion at Stand and Deliver and then got drafted and injured. I'm sure Lyra was like, yeah, you're not Irish. But she says, look, I never lost that title. So, Becky, if you want to jump between Mondays and Tuesdays, I will too. This is where I grew up. I got married right here in this ring. And now I'm back for something I never lost. Yeah, I think stated her case pretty fairly. She never lost the title and never got a chance back at it.
But you went to the main roster and they didn't have anything for you, so you're just back here.
Yeah.
So.
Roxanne Perez then comes out, and it seems to be that she's getting some boos from this crowd. And she says, a few weeks ago, you told me to stay out of the tag match and look after myself. Well, I don't want to do that anymore. And I'm here to look you right in the face and say I'm taking it. Kind of also brings up that she sort of dropped the title quite unfairly. It was sort of pulled from her. It was put in the ladder match, which she lost to Indy. Becky says, you will make excellent points, but I think you should do a little less talking and a little more fighting. And I'm going to join commentary later and watch you three have a classic triple threat match to see who faces me on night 1 of Halloween Havoc.
Damn. So yeah, one of these women are going to face Becky next week on this Title Tuesday. They're not calling it that. The other shows.
Yeah. What are we calling this one?
Title Tuesday.
There's got to be a better one. I'm trying to think.
Main roster.
Tuesday Night Raw. Tuesday Night Raw.
Tuesday Night Raw. There we go. Cena, Cody.
Yeah. We then see a little breakdown of the women's breakout tournament, and we get the brackets here. We're going to have Kelani Jordan taking on Izzi. Grace. Ariana Grace taking on Jakara Jackson. Carmen Petrovic taking on Jada Parker, and Danny Palmer taking on Lola Grace. And we'll see a bit more from these ladies a bit later on. We then go to our next match. This came from No Mercy when Gallus interfered, taking out Tyler Bate. Taking out Pete Dunne in his match against Noam Dar. So we're getting Tyler Bate and Butch taking on Mark and Wolfgang from Gallus.
Yeah, British strong style reunite here in a match.
I don't think we ever saw them tag in WWE. Did we?
What? Yeah, of course. In NXT, we've seen them face. We've seen them face a bunch of people, but then it was Trent and Tyler.
It was Trent and Bate, and Dunn was kind of on his own.
Interesting.
But they sort of they were doing this British strong style stuff in the Indies.
They were the three in the Indies. Yeah. These two together.
I might be wrong, but I can't actually remember them tagging in NXT. And so it starts with just Gallus beating down Dunn. Dunn comes back and stomps the elbow of Wolfgang and then tags in Bate. And they both do a double stomp to either elbow of Wolfgang. There's then a double drop kick sending Wolfgang to the outside. And then Mark comes in. And what do? They snap his fingers.
They break both their fingers. Look at that. They're doing each other's moves. They're best friends.
They do a double bop and bang. We come back from the break, and now Mark is on top. As the official is distracted, Joe Coffey gets involved, elbowing Tyler in the face. And then Bate manages to make the hot tag to Butch, sitting drop kicks all round, drops an elbow across the arm of Mark, hits a Shining Wizard, and then the 10 beats of the Baron, homage to Sheamus. And then it hits a spear on the floor to Joe Coffey. Mark comes back in with the Gamangiri. Butch hits him with the X-Plex. And then Bate tags in, hitting his running, standing, shooting star press. And then does the airplane spin on Wolfgang. And Wolfgang, as he's placed down, just dizzy, falls out of the ring.
Which Too many Moscow mules, right?
Yeah. Butch, which has been corrected to bitch on my notes.
Every time.
Hits the moonsault on Wolfgang on the outside. Bate goes for the Tyler Driver 97, but gets backdropped into his rebound lariat and then hits his Tyler Bates, huge puncher over to the outside, taking out Wolfgang. And then British Strong Style isolate Mark Coffey, hitting, I guess, like a double Tyler driver, kind of. Both like underhooking one arm and picking him up with a power
It looks
bomb.
like they didn't get all of it.
It kind of looks like the sort of default tag team moves you get given in
the game?
SmackDown and 2K and that kind of
thing. It's like lifting a guy up, like doing the Tyler driver yourself looks like it could hurt, but doing it like this doesn't make it look like a move at all.
So they pick up the win, but after the match, Joe Coffey runs in to beat them up, and the rest of Gallus are beating down on Bate and Butch when Ridge Holland runs out for the save and hits a big pounce to Wolfgang and takes them all out. And
Fridge.
So I imagine we're getting this 6-man tag.
This guy was back there watching these guys dick around the whole match, and then after the match decides to come out. What a guy.
Maybe he lives close. He might live in Florida. He's watching it and then, I'm not having this.
I gotta be there. Yeah, we predicted this right away. That
part of me was expecting with this show next week that they might do just Sheamus, Butch, and Ridge.
Oh, Sheamus, but
it looks like they'll do Bate, Butch, and Ridge. But it could have been fun with Sheamus against.
Just put
Gallus.
Bate in the Brawling Brutes.
I mean, that's what they're teasing here. Really,
just let him. He's British.
He can be the new dog.
Yeah, cat or yoga.
Is he more of a cat? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Sheamus is the Irish leader, but just have Sheamus leading. I mean, have them turn on Sheamus and then be all Brits only, and then like no, Sheamus doesn't have any friends. Gallus is the Scotsman's, so like they're
Celtic connection.
Yeah, they're like. Who else is Irish? Finn, JD.
Yeah.
Sheamus.
They're busy with judging.
Sheamus needs to find. I mean, Becky and Lyra, but Sheamus needs to find some new people if he's going to go up against this whole like UK Isles fight.
The reform the Banger Bros.
Banger Bros. Is that with Drew?
With Drew.
Yeah,
Drew and Gallus.
That was one of the best names of the tag team.
Banger Bros.
Yeah, they need a Banger Bros reunion at the pay-per-view of Great Balls of Fire.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I thought this was pretty fun. I enjoyed seeing Bate and Butch kind of hitting each other's moves in tandem.
It was cute. It was very Golden Lover-esque of them doing stuff.
The brand new NXT champion, Ilya Dragunov, comes out, and I did feel he was really trying to do his entrance as best he could whilst holding the title and wearing a suit. He kind of got stuck up on the ropes a little bit. It was kind of funny.
He shaved.
He did shave.
He's a champ now, so he shaved the pirate goatee.
I don't think I'm going to shave again.
You're not shaving until Halloween?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Dedication for the costume.
Yeah. Part of it arrived today.
Do I have to not shave my head?
Yeah, exactly. But you can do that in a few days.
Yeah, I think I can wait.
Maybe.
Still. All right.
He says, ladies and gentlemen, tonight you can welcome me as the Mad Dragon. You can welcome me as the Tsar. You can welcome me as Unzibaiga. But you can especially welcome me as your new NXT champion. He says, at No Mercy, Carmelo Hayes, you brought the fight, and what a fight that was. You pushed me to my limits. So today, as I stand in front of you, barely even able to stand, but I stand. And even in pain, I stand as your champion. And I promised I would stand here as champion and fulfill my destiny. And I did. When Trick Williams' music hits.
Whoop, that Trick.
What?
Yeah, Q Booker T being the best hype man. Just even here, he's trying not to do it. And he's like, nah, fuck it. What? Yeah.
All right. I hear
so
you.
Good.
I hope when Trick is in 2K, they just add books.
That'd be great. He's not even on commentary. He's just imagine Booker T for the video game commentary.
You know what? I think Booker has got better. I think it was very clear when he started in NXT, he hadn't watched any of these people at all, ever.
You were away Saturday night, so I'm watching No Mercy, but my girlfriend came over and she was like, doing work stuff on the computer, sitting in the living room, and all night she doesn't watch wrestling NXT like that, like with me ever. So she's like, maybe 10 minutes into the pay-per-view, she's like, I'm sorry, who is this guy on commentary? And I'm like, babe, please show respect to the 5-time world champ. She's like, who? She's like, this guy sounds insane. And I'm like, you don't even know who this person is, and you're pretty much verifying what
I never know with wrestling whether like something's improved or just I've been beaten into submission.
Love it now. I love it so much.
So Trick comes out and he's like trying to calm down the crowd who are keeping up that trick.
Yeah, I mean,
he even says cut the music when the music's done.
Yeah,
but they're still going.
This is Trick had so much fucking charisma on him.
Yeah.
He was shining here with the new title and his outfit and like this part. Like he felt like $1 million when he tells them to cut the music and then they keep doing the chants and then finally cut the music again and then he's laughing and he's like, "Come on, y'all! Like, come on, please, hold on, I'm trying to talk." And then it's
2-hour show.
So good, yeah.
He says, Trick stands here as your new North American champion. He thanks the crowd and he says, Ilya, back at Heatwave, you pushed me to a whole new level. And this trick that everyone now loves is because of you. So thank you. And Dragunov says, look, Trick, I'm proud of you. And at No Mercy, you whooped that Trick. And they shake hands when Carmelo Hayes comes out.
Uh-oh, awkward.
And he's like, am I tripping or was that Ilya? He's like, what's going on here, Trick? And he says, Ilya, I appreciate the kind words. You said you were going to fulfill your destiny, and you did that. But Trick, Ilya, man, come on. What's with you? And I've been telling you that you have the heart of a champion and you'll succeed. I've been telling you all these things, and I'm proud of you. And he says, we came up together in front of these people, and winning that championship is one thing, but defending it is a completely different level. As we're kind of seeing glimpses of maybe jealousy or something come through. And Trick's like, whoa, are you saying I'm not ready for Dom tonight? And Mello's like, Ilya jumps in and he's like, yeah, what did it mean? What did you mean there? And Ilya continues, as far as I'm concerned, this is none of your business because this is a conversation for champions.
Ooh.
And if you don't think I'm done, find me after you figure this out. And Ilya leaves Trick and Mello to it.
Yeah, I'm done with this.
So, and Mello says to Trick, look, I know, Trick says, I know you want that rematch with Dragunov, but I think I'm ready to face him too. And Mello says, well, how about for now, you just focus on Dom?
Yeah, he kind of says, I know you think you can do what I did with that title, but right now just focus on Dom. So again, kind of these like, almost a backhanded compliment kind of thing. I don't know, kind of thing. But he's getting booed a little bit. But then Dom comes out.
Dom comes out and says to Trick, you should listen to Mello. Winning a championship and keeping it is two different things. And you're coming for me. Trick said that he watched Raw and he isn't worried about Mommy. And aren't you worried about Mommy? She said she'd leave you if you don't get that title back.
So this happened on Raw.
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley got real scary on Dom and said, if you don't come back with that title, like
don't bother coming back
home at all.
Trick says, all you say is Mommy this, Mommy that, and then Braden, take it away.
Mama say, Mamakusa.
Exactly. I've never known what he's saying there.
Me too. I had to look it up. The phrase Mama say, Mama sa, Mama kusa is a Zulu proverb that means a mother knows best.
Interesting. I've never actually known what the words are. I've just yeah. So thank you, Trick.
And then if that wasn't enough, then Mello is like, look, Don, you better be starting something if you're coming out here. So Michael Jackson again.
So Mello says that Dom and Judgment Day isn't business you want to be involved with, and says, I will be in your corner to kind of help you out tonight against them. And Dom questions why Trick is still in his shadow when he's so much taller than him.
Ooh.
And Trick's like, Mello, I appreciate it, but I won this title by myself and I will keep it by myself. And tonight I'm a whoop this Trick.
Yeah, so Trick is saying, Mello, I don't want you out there. I'm going to do this on my own against Dom.
I like how they're telling this Mello Trick story. I think it's kind of, you understand the jealousy creeping through from Mello. And I'm glad that, because part of me was like, are you going to do this turn tonight? And I'm glad they're still like playing with it a bit.
Yeah, I like this story. I mean, it's coming out. Some people were reporting today that Ali was meant to win the title, and then he got released, and then now it turned into this storyline. And this storyline, it kind of makes a bit more sense. It's a bit more exciting, especially for us who've been following Trick Mello Gang, because it's like, oh, okay, hold on. And I mean, Trick has just improved so much.
Yeah.
Like, he's so good. He oozes the confidence and the riz there. He's just so natural on-screen character that man, his wrestling has improved, but like already his talking is something that's like miles and leagues ahead of people who are already like
he's unique as well.
Yeah,
like his
very
promo
unique
style.
Yeah, you hear he singing and doing quotes and stuff. Like, yeah, I love it.
What I like though with this story is Ilya, like, it's not a new thing where he's been like Trick kind of know where you're at.
Yeah.
He's always been like, you're good, but you really want to face this guy.
Right.
And Trick always respected him for his honesty there. And now you could see it as Trick being like, yeah, you've won this title, but don't get ahead of yourself because it could come crashing down, which we see what happens later. So you can see it as that, and you can see it as a bit of a jealousy thing as well.
Yeah,
so I like it.
I'm liking it a lot.
We go to our triple threat match to determine who faces Becky Lynch at Halloween Havoc Night 1. It's Indi Hartwell, Lyra Valkyria, and Roxanne Perez. We start with Lyra and Roxanne double teaming Indi and drop kick her, sending her out of the ring. I guess because she's the main roster star, the biggest threat here. So now Rox and Lyra are going at it. Roxanne keeps going for these sort of European clutch kind of bridging pin attempts, but only 2 counts. Indi comes in and hits a really nice looking, beautiful, like delayed vertical suplex. Looked pretty good to Roxanne. And then Rox hits this big tilt-a-whirl and then runs the ropes, but eats a roundhouse kick from Lyra. Lyra's now in there just showing off all her kicks. She's doing drop kicks through the ropes either side. Perez then takes her out with a tope suicida, and Hartwell drops her with just a big boot. It's all just going back and forth from all three. After the break, Booker asked Becky if she sensed any animosity from Lyra earlier in the night. And Becky's like, no, I didn't sense any animosity. I just felt she seemed kind of starstruck, showing how like she was inspired by me. Indi goes for a powerbomb to Perez, who counters it with a Rana and then like this victory roll for only a 2 count. She hits the Thez press off the second rope, goes for her satellite into the side Russian leg sweep, but Lyra flies off the top rope, knocking both down with a missile drop kick. Lyra's then hitting the yes kicks, if you will, back and forth.
Yeah, Lyra's very impressive. She reminds me of Daniel Bryan with the yes kicks and the submission. Like the way she wrestles is very similar. The only problem is she doesn't have like cool finishing moves, but she definitely like does a lot of his moves. I think she's definitely inspired by that wrestler as well, but she's pretty good at it.
She goes for a roundhouse on Roxy, who catches it and throws it into Indi's face. There's enziguris all round, a nice looking Northern Light suplex from Lyra for a 2 count. Perez hits this Rana off the top, and then Indi flies at her with her like ball hammer, like the flying elbow we've seen her win matches with.
Some bad news.
But Roxanne kicks out from this. Lyra's hitting more strikes, but a big boot from Indi sends her out the ring. Roxanne then hits Pop Rocks to Indi, and she goes for the pin where Kiana James pulls Roxanne out the ring.
What?
Becky comes off commentary and decks Kiana to take her out, and then Lyra finishes up with her big top rope splash to pick up the win.
Yeah, I thought all three had some good back and forth. Indi, I don't know. I haven't seen her in a while. I think maybe she felt a little bit out of place, but I know when she gets going, she can get good. But she's had a lot of stop starts in NXT, and I think the most impressed I was by was Lyra. So that's definitely the right winner here. And setting up the story earlier makes a lot of sense. You just kind of feel bad for both Roxy and Indi being brought into the story. I mean, now Roxy's got something to do. Don't really know what you do with Indi, but Lyra versus Becky next week sounds really good. And like I said, I'm really impressed by Valkyria's wrestling. And I'll just say it, get one cool looking move, a submission move. Literally just do what Danielson does and get a submission, and you'll look way cooler.
Has she done the Muda lock at some point?
I don't know. Just the splash, like she does everything that looks so good. And then her splash is just like,
yeah, when Dominik Mysterio's splash looks better
like,
than you,
that's saying something.
You know,
So.
I agree. She is one though. When we were doing our predictions, I was like, I kind of want to see Becky retain because there's a lot of people I want to see her have matches with, and Lyra is one of them. She's really impressed.
It will be good.
I thought she really shone in this match. You can always do the indie match on Raw. You know, like Becky's doing her open challenge thing. She's got Tegan Nox next week, which would be the 9th, and I think this is on the 24th. So you got time to maybe do an indie match before then or after them.
Right.
yeah, I enjoyed this, but I'm with you that Lyra definitely was the standout of this one.
Well, then Tegan came out.
Tegan then comes out and she's just basically yelling. She's saying, I'm still before you, so you might be facing me, and all three are yelling at each other.
Yeah, I was a little confused. I was like, oh, so Tegan is getting her match on Raw, but then Becky was injured, so she didn't get the match on Raw. But she has a match next week on NXT, then also on Raw.
Sorry, no, Tegan's facing Becky on Raw next week.
Yeah.
Okay, right. This match against Lyra isn't until Halloween Havoc.
Oh, my bad.
It's like the 24th.
Oh, so this is not next week. Okay,
no, so Halloween for Havoc's on the 24th and the 31st.
Night 1 of Halloween.
Night 1, and then night 2 is actually on Halloween.
Ooh, spooky.
Yeah. Backstage, Bron Breakker approaches Carmelo Hayes.
Ooh.
And Bron tells him to cut the crap. He says, I'm the only one around here who knows how you feel right now, because when you lost, they immediately stopped chanting for you and was chanting for Ilya. There was no more Mello chants, no more him. And I know that's bothering you, but do what I did. Take that frustration and rage and take it out on everyone, especially Trick Williams. And Mello says, leave Trick out of this. And Bron's like, yeah, well, where was he on Sunday? Was he waiting for you and Gorilla to give you a hug after you lost your match? No, you had to find him. Think about it.
Bron basically is like, hey, they turned on me. I was cool, and then they just hated me. And look, they've done it to you. They've moved on. Join us. Be evil.
I thought Bron was great here.
Yeah.
He's playing this character so well.
Yeah, this is a way better character for him.
But also, like he's kind of justified what he's saying.
I like he's saying what I've been saying. Mello is way better as a heel. Mello has been he was kind of soft when he became a babyface. He became the babyface as a champion, and it was amazing. But I think it was the right time for this title change, because he's way better and captivating as a bad guy. But yeah, I like this little back and forth, and it's going to kind of set up something for next week, which is pretty big.
So we then see Dragunov is being handed the NXT title. They've just changed the nameplate. So he's like, oh, thank you, nameplate guy.
Yeah.
And he'll be busy again later tonight, won't he?
Yeah.
When Baron Corbin approaches and says, apart from Carmelo Hayes, I'm the only one who's beaten you here. And I put down Big Bron at no mercy. No one stands in my way, and tells Ilya to take as many photos as he can with his new title, because he won't be holding it much longer. So assume we're getting Ilya's first defense against Baron Corbin in a few weeks.
Which I easily predicted after he beat Braun. It was like, okay, that's easily where they're going to go.
Yeah, makes sense.
That, but I imagine that's Halloween Havoc as well.
Night 2, maybe?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We go to our next match, Blair Davenport versus Gigi Dolin. This has been building up quite a few weeks now.
Grudge match. Months.
Each just attacking each other.
Years.
Backstage, even on the kickoff show during Kelani Jordan's match. It broke down as well.
That's right.
And well, it continues, because as Blair's making her entrance, Gigi jumps her and just unloads all these drop kicks on Blair. These drop kicks in the ropes, kind of like the one, who is it, Saray used to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not quite.
No, same sort of.
Yeah,
move.
remember, whatever happened to her?
She left.
Yeah, but what's she doing now? I don't know. She's still doing like Sailor Moon
probably
stuff. Nice.
Yeah, she's stuck in the Stars in Their Eyes doors somewhere.
I finally saw that show and
Did
understood
you
what it meant.
understand
Yeah. All these years, all these months later, I was like, oh, that's what he meant when they walked through the tunnel.
Where did you see it?
At work, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, some British.
I was gonna say it wasn't when you were back in England, was
no.
it? Philip Schofield around. No, it was who presented that? Matthew Kelly. That's it.
Yeah.
Blair comes back with this kick to the spine. Gigi's delivering some elbows and then a knee to the jaw, and then hits what's the kind of fake out kick, like the switch kick thing?
Yeah, I think of the Power Rangers.
Yeah, actually a pretty good hit from Gigi. But then Blair goes to use a chair, but Gigi grabs it off her and rolls her up for the win. Yeah,
not too much. You know what? Like, Gigi hasn't really impressed with me in NXT, and I'm not really invested in this storyline. They're trying to heat both of them up, but I really don't care about both of these characters right now. And I know they try their best with making it so they keep attacking each other, but it's just still not very interesting. So this wasn't too much of a match for me, but I don't know where you go next with this.
I agree. I with the just roll up finish, I feel like we're gonna get a rematch.
Yeah,
and
we
probably
with the chair. She had
probably a
chair.
no DQ
Yeah.
stip. But yeah, I haven't been into this feud. I feel they're just trying to keep Blair busy until there's the right babyface to be champion for her to face, because they kept her very away from that picture so far.
Yeah.
And it didn't make any sense with Tiffany as champ. And I don't really think it makes much sense with Becky as champ. But I feel that's what they'll eventually do with her, put her in that picture. So they're just trying to find people to keep her busy with. And Gigi, I'm with you, just hasn't really connected with me. I don't think I've seen a great deal of improvement with her wrestling.
Yeah.
And I kind of say that JC is the one that's kind of stepped up a bit more in those regards. But yeah, this was the low point on the show for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Blair tells us that this isn't over, Gigi,
Great.
At the end. Kiana James is backstage. Mackenzie Mitchell trying to get an interview as to why she interfered. But Kiana's on the phone. She gets off the phone and is asked, why did you attack Roxanne? She said, well, she's been the golden girl since coming in, but she came in at the same time as me, and I don't want to see her hold another title. She was in that tournament, but I was in it too. She was a tag champ, and so was I, and I want to raise higher than her. And she says she has a plan, and that the only way that Roxanne can face her one-on-one is if she beats Asuka next week.
What?
Bit left field.
Yeah.
But
cool. She's just on the phone with Asuka?
Yeah.
Hey, what are you doing next Tuesday? Can you fight Roxanne Perez? Yeah, sure. So that's what's happening now.
That would be a great match.
Oh, yeah, it sounds awesome. Asuka versus Roxanne Perez. Let's go. Next week on NXT. I'm all in for that. I love Asuka.
For the right to face Kiana James.
Yeah, winner gets to face Kiana James, who's that doesn't make sense.
No, it's just Asuka's on the show.
I like how this week all of a sudden NXT superstars have phone numbers of main roster stars. Was there a leak? Did people get their numbers? Because it's not the
Edge on the way out.
Yeah, hey, here's everyone.
Picked a couple of people we liked.
Yeah,
like, I like that Kiana and that Carmelo.
Because like, why all of a sudden can NXT? It's like you had like NXT always felt like it was this like island, right? And no, the main roster people can come over and vice versa, but they're still treated like kids, right?
I mean, you have heard you've heard stories of, like Stone Cold or whoever is watching TV and he's like, what's Kevin Owens' number? I need to tell him something.
Yeah.
You do hear that these veterans like watching and wanting to give advice.
Should, yeah.
Just like Kiana and like I kind of get John Cena calling up Carmelo Hayes and being like,
hey,
it's the right champ. You're still good. Never give up. Asuka and Kiana. Askiana.
I mean, Kiana's known for the money, so maybe Asuka's just being paid.
Yeah. She ain't doing much else right now, is she?
Exactly.
Yeah. We move forward with the women's breakout tournament. They introduce all the competitors who are stood on the stage.
Yeah. We have some familiar faces like Danny Palmer, who is, I want to say, one of the surfer chicks.
Sol Ruka's friend.
Yeah,
got attacked by Blair.
Lola Vice, we've seen a bunch of her. We'll see her later. She's the MMA background.
Yeah,
she's pretty good actually. Jada Parker, I'm not too familiar with her. Same with Carmen Petrovic, who they say is from our hometown of Toronto, Ontario, Canada, but she also has a sword. So now
she's got a sword.
So now I definitely remember her because she's from Toronto and she's got a sword. So we're here for the sword lady.
She's got a sword on her her Instagram as well.
Nice. Yeah. Jakara Jackson. Bosnian. Well, she's from here though, right?
Yeah.
Jakara Jackson,
born in Bosnia.
Yeah, from the Metaphor.
I feel they might have just messed up.
What do you mean?
Well, Ariana Grace is from Toronto.
Yeah,
I feel like, is this woman actually from Toronto?
Yeah, I think so.
They didn't just screw up her introduction.
I hope not.
It's saying she's from Bosnia.
Okay, maybe she moved to.
And I would feel like it would be cooler to bill Petrovic as from Bosnia than
she's the new chick from the Six.
Toronto.
that gimmick's open now. So Ariana Grace, she's doing her Miss Universe Canada gimmick, aka her father's gimmick.
Oh, true. Santina
Morella.
Aunt, I guess.
Yeah, that's right. And then Kelani Jordan, who we've seen a bunch. She learned all she could learn from Dana Brooke. before Dana left us. And then Izzi Dame, who I'm not too familiar with, but they mentioned was like a volleyball player or something. So a whole group of women in this tournament. And again, some that we recognize and some new faces. And I'm all for it. I would say, as much as I think this is pretty cool, and I'm sure there'll be a men's bracket in the near future, where's the Mae Young Classics? Where's that? Bring that back.
I think this is essentially it.
It's what it becomes.
Oh yeah, she does have the Canadian flag on her Twitter. Yeah, I think this is essentially what it is. I do think it was a shame we didn't get like the insert video promo from like Izzi Dame, who we're not familiar with, just to, you know, like you used to get for the Mae Young Classics and stuff, just a little bio dating profile kind of thing. Of who everyone is. I'd have liked to have seen that, and maybe we can get that for some of the lesser known people this year. Yeah,
because I had no idea who some of these people are, including Izzi Dame, who's going in a match right now. And right away, she was bigger than a lot of the others, like taller, and was kind of beating up Kelani. That right away, I'm like, hey, this person's got some like potential, and that's kind of the whole point of this tournament. So
Izzi gets Kelani into a wrist lock, which she flips out of. Jordan tries to do a sunset flip, but Dame is just too strong. And then there's this big knee to the face from Dame and just starts slamming Jordan's head against the mat. She's driving her shoulders in the corner, hits a backbreaker, and then like Kalani's throat is like across the rope, and she like jumps on the rope to bounce it up. We then see the Heritage Cup waiting room to watch the matches has now been cleared of those lads, and it's the other competitors watching on.
It's the breakout tournament.
It's like a doctor's office waiting room, isn't it?
Yeah, the viewing room.
Yeah,
dimly lit. One little TV.
One little tube TV, like an old wheelie one.
Yeah, when you thought it was when your teacher was away. That's what this is. It looks like just a dark class watching this.
Dame is then applying the, like, what is it, the Canadian backbreaker, the torture thing.
This was very impressive. Again, she's like bigger and stronger than most of these competitors, and she's bending her almost like a gory special, but a Canadian backbreaker, and I thought it was pretty good.
Jordan then fights out with a sunset flip, and this time gets her down for a 2 count, and then Jordan swings herself through the ropes into an arm drag, hits some drop kicks, a high cross for the 2 count, and then hits this lovely looking split-legged moonsault for the win.
Yeah, very RVD inspired, I'd say, which was also pretty cool. So yeah, actually I didn't mind this. It was a quick little match. It showed me Izzi Dame, and now I know who she is. And Kelani, I think, is they're saying on commentary, like, oh, I think she's the one who should win. And I kind of agree with that. That should be the story being told about this. She doesn't have Dana in her corner, but I think she can still do it. So, yeah, I didn't mind.
I would think it's, and I'll have a look at the brackets, but I would think it's Kelani and Lola Vice in the final.
Yeah.
That can't happen. Yes,
it can, in the final, because Ariana Grace will face Jakara Jackson, Petrovic versus Parker, Palmer versus Vice. So it probably will be Kelani and Vice.
I would think so, yeah. But I think this did the right thing. We've seen Jordan quite a few times, so it wasn't necessarily the time to showcase her. You saw enough out of Izzi Dame to see potential, but obviously the more established person getting the win.
Yeah.
We go backstage where we see Andre Chase and Duke Hudson, and they approach Thea Hale and ask if they can come and support her for her tag match later. We did just see some tweets going back and forth between Thea, JC, Lola Vice, and Elektra Lopez throughout the week, as they were kind of making fun of her last week of being a little girl. And Thea's not sure if she wants them in the corner, and JC calls them chaperones, but then changes her mind. She's like, actually, no, it's a great idea. You should come along and offer support, and then puts her hand in for Chase U.
Wow.
So
why does she want them out there?
So Chase and Duke are going to be in the corner of Thea and
the
Jason.
Chaperones. Have you ever seen that movie, The Chaperone? Triple H?
Triple H? I never have.
Oh, man.
Is it worth doing?
It's bad. It's probably the worst WWE one.
Right.
And I love me some Triple H, but like, nah, bro. Yeah, it's got to be one of the worst ones.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Sounds good. The one with Shawn Michaels, the Christian.
Oh, the one you reviewed, the country music one.
Well, maybe that one.
And he's in it for like a minute.
What about the one with Randy Orton? I'll go to the papers if I have to. That one might be the worst.
Yeah.
So Chase U, sorry, JC's now like bringing them along. I'm not sure what the MO is, but we'll have to see.
She's pretending to be
she's a mean girl,
baby face here.
It is October 3rd, which is Mean Girls Day.
Oh, okay.
Today is Mean Girls Day.
It is, yeah. So we go to Thea and JC taking on Elektra and Lola. Lopez and Vice are just teaming up on Thea to start with. There's a big axe kick from Vice to the back for a 2 count. Vice stops Thea from making the tag and then takes a cheap shot at JC. Thea eventually makes the tag to Jane, who comes in, hitting her enziguris, a running hip attack, the running neck breaker, and then Lola connects with this spinning back fist and makes the tag to Elektra, who comes in but gets hit by the rolling elbow from JC Jane, who then tags in Thea Hale, and Thea leaps at Elektra with the Kimura lock, and Lopez taps.
Yeah, I love this jumping Kimura lock.
And it was kind of like JC tagged her, and it was like, finish it.
Yeah.
And she just leaps in with this thing.
The secret move that you learned from Charlie Dempsey.
Mm.
Yeah, I like this. It makes this silly character story arc of Chase U and Thea funny. It's like a whole like high school thing. Like the kids deterring against the father and wants to break out and smoke cigarettes with their friends and go shopping and date boys. That's what this is going to be, essentially. Like the daughter breaking away, and he's like, no, I shouldn't have thrown in that towel. I shouldn't have been too hard on you. And now look at you, you're gone. Elektra Lopez didn't do too much in this match, but
yeah,
Lola Vice looks good.
So little, I'm wondering if she's not completely like fit right now.
I don't know.
As in like an injury or whatever, because she literally did nothing. She was on the apron, tagged in, and then took the finish, which was kind of weird. But really Lola, showcasing Lola.
Yeah, she looks great. She's got some crazy MMA that's mixing well with the pro wrestling. So can't wait. I could see her being a big star.
So you brought up to me during this time that Carmelo Hayes tweeted out that he received a real nice phone call.
Yeah, he tweeted, damn, why did I pick up my phone? No, wait, that was not him.
So we see Carmelo Hayes leaving, and he's asked if he's going to take Braun's advice. And he says, hell no, I ain't taking Braun's advice. In actual fact, I asked for a match against Braun. And then you know what happened? Against Braun, sorry. Then you know what happened?
Wow.
John Cena called me and said, look, Mello, you pick yourself back up. I'm a 16-time world champion. That means I've lost the title 16 times. And you know what that means? It means I picked myself up 16 times. So you know what I thought? I was like, yeah, John Cena's going to be in my corner next week. So the GOAT, the greatest of all time, is coming to NXT.
Yes, we started laughing at this, like, oh, because before they came back, I was like, you know, announcing Asuka, you'd think they'd announce like Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes or something. And you laughed and we're like, yeah, that's probably what they'll do. Then I go, yo, Cena, you'll just be in Carmelo's corner and he's going to face Braun, the two biggest guys here, against each other. And Cena's in his corner. Oh, okay.
Is Cena eating a spear?
Best spear ever. I mean, if this leads to Braun v. Cena at a big show, that's a good idea. Have Braun eat John Cena. What a great way to kick off his career on the main roster.
Yeah.
That would be a good storyline. And then he's also wearing the shirt tonight, best spear in the business still. But
yeah.
Cena's definitely got to eat one of those.
Yeah.
He's not the ref, though. He's just in his corner.
Yeah, he's corner man.
Yeah. So he's going to come out. He's going to run down that small aisle of NXT.
True, wow. Yeah. I'm sure he's shown up on NXT and one of our Was Next. Has he not?
Yeah, a few people have, but
I'm trying to remember. No, yeah. Jericho did, Punk did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after the break, we're already laughing.
We're laughing, slapping our knee. Oh boy.
And next week on NXT, Cody Rhodes will be here with a huge announcement. I imagine maybe announcing Dusty Cup.
Okay, yeah, that's what I think makes the most sense of what an announcement would be from Cody.
That's a lot of tournaments right now.
Yeah,
I mean, it could be in a few months, you know.
True.
And he's just coming out. Just happens to be next Tuesday.
His announcement is that he's here on NXT. He's here to have a match with someone.
He's traded to there. Yeah.
Imagine he's like, yo,
finish the story.
Yeah. I'm not ready yet.
Yeah.
Clearly, I lost. I need to come back. So Cody and John Cena both on NXT next week. Wow. They literally went, you know the phrase, bring out the big guns?
Yeah.
That's literally what they did. They were like, let's get two of the biggest merch movers, rating movers, everything. Let's go. And on top of that, Asuka.
Hey, Asuka's great.
And Paul Heyman. Oh, wait, we're not there yet.
We're not there yet. Don't read ahead. We go to our main event of the evening. Trick Williams taking on Dominik Mysterio for the NXT North American Championship. I feel like in a different life, you could be Dominik Mysterio.
Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment.
You know, I feel people look at photos of you as a kid and laugh.
Yeah.
And then like you kind of grew up a bit and you like goth chicks.
Yeah. Maybe I am like Dominik Mysterio. You know, I never had a mullet though. I wish in another life, universe, I have.
You're going to be growing your hair out, so maybe just keep it going.
All right, yeah.
Start on next year's costume
for Dom
today. Yeah,
wow, I already got the mask.
True.
Got to get the NA title.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, well there you have it. I'm not Dom this year.
2024.
I'll be Dom.
We're doing Judgment Day. Does that mean I'm Rhea?
You look like Finn.
I'll be Finn.
You're definitely not Rhea. We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
I mean, Trav would be Priest, I guess.
Yeah. True.
What do you think of Finn's new tattoo? Did you see it?
I thought his kid scribbled on his arm for a second. Yeah. No. You know what? I think it's cool. I know that he's got a bunch of tattoos from like what his either his friends or family or something along the lines of that do art and stuff. Like, yeah, it's cool. I think he'd look a bit more badass if he was even more covered. So keep him going, Finn. His body is jacked. He could he probably doesn't even feel tattoo guns, but yeah, it's like spirally, like a noodle, a Scooby-Doo noodle.
Something like that, yeah. It's like 3 different faces, I think, for like sketches.
He should just get a giant demon on his back.
I was wondering what you were going to say there. All right, so all of Judgment Day there. Rhea's at ringside, and we see Priest and Balor coming down as well to distract Trick, which allows Dom to hit a flying back elbow. Dom is in complete control. He hits Eddie's Senton Atomico and then goes for the 3 amigos. But on the third one, Trick blocks it and comes back with a neck breaker. Dom then meets him with a super kick. There's this spinning slam from Trick and then does his wrist control.
Yes.
Drag up into the bookend, which Booker is just calling it that. So I think that's what we're calling it. But Dom kicks out. And then Rhea throws in the championship and allowing Dom to hit a DDT on the title as the ref is distracted. And it's 1, it's 2, but Trick kicks out. Good near fall here.
Yeah.
There's then an inside cradle from Trick for a 2 count. And then Dom slingshots Trick into the ropes to follow up with the 619. You could see Trick kind of pulling up his hand quite early here for it. Just definitely where the camera angle wasn't the best.
I'd be scared to hit with that move.
Dom goes for the frog splash, but Trick gets the knees up and then hits his running, leaping knee. And this is when JD McDonough runs out. So Trick takes him out. And then Priest gets up and gives the briefcase to Dom. So Dom's going to use that as the ref is distracted and is taking that away. Balor blasts Trick with the title, allowing Dom to follow up with the frog splash for the win.
It took a whole army to get the job done, but the job got done. Dominik Mysterio is a 2-time North American champion, and Trick is just left sitting there being like, damn, why did I tell my friend not to have my back when there was a whole lot of people out there who had Dom's back? And Trick is a 1-day champion. This title had some curses like this back in the day before people knew, but it seems like it's back.
I like it. I like the storytelling here. I think you playing with the fact that Mello could be jealous and he's sort of maybe not thinking of his friend's best interests, to now you look at it the other way round where it's like, Trick, come on, you should have listened. You should have let him help you. I like the story they're telling, and it continues this Judgment Day NXT involvement, which has been really good for NXT.
Yeah.
I do think on both the pay-per-view and tonight, the match isn't great between these two. I think they get by on Trick just being incredibly popular with great charisma, and Dom gets by just being absolutely hated. But I think they've both had better matches against better people. I think when we've seen Dom in there with Dragon Lee, he's really stepped up. And Trick in there with Ilya. But I think because they're on a similar level, like really here, Dominik Mysterio is the veteran, which you can't really say about a lot of matches. it doesn't make for the most exciting match in the world.
No, Dom still needs NXT.
Yeah, but they craft it well with all the Judgment Day stuff where it's still like a entertaining enough story.
So Dominik doesn't need to go knocking back on Ray's door with his tail between his legs.
Yeah,
being like, sorry, mommy kicked me out. He can go back to Raw and be happy again. The Judgment Day reign should continue. I think one of them should be champion. There's a last man standing match at Fastlane. I imagine maybe we do get a cash in with Priest. Yeah, Judgment Day with all the gold, all the power. Yeah, I mean, you know what? I agree. This match wasn't nothing too much. It's all about the story, and the crowd were getting super into Dominik winning and booing it and getting involved with the Judgment Day. And yeah, it makes for exciting things because now Trick kind of like, man, I did that to myself. He didn't let his own friend have his back, and maybe he would have kept the title if that was the case. Like if you asked me, I'd always be
Mello didn't even stay to watch backstage.
He left.
Did he? He left.
He's on to bigger things. John Cena's on his phone
his
now.
Best friend John.
Yeah, it's John Mello gang now.
Yeah.
It's Trick Ilya gang and John Mello gang.
So I mean, Cena raps as well. So he Mello does his kind of
he has rapped before.
Yeah,
true.
So and then we cut to Paul Heyman, who says,
"What,
ladies and gentlemen, let's get this straight. Next week, Bron Breakker takes on Carmelo Hayes, a rematch from Stand and Deliver, the youngest main event in WrestleMania weekend history.
History.
And he says, this is the same Carmelo Hayes taking advice from John Cena, the same John Cena who has been getting involved with bloodline business. So Roman has spoken to me, and he's coming next week."
Yep, Roman Reigns is here on NXT.
Roman Reigns, John Cena, Cody.
Yeah.
But alas.
No, that's not what he said. He did say Roman Reigns, who will not be here, who's advised me.
Roman Reigns has bestowed upon me the responsibility of being in Bron's
At this point, it's just them trolling us now. Yeah.
But yeah, this might be a 1 week thing, but Bron Breakker is a Paul Heyman guy. I kind of see it.
Yeah. And he's got the best spear in the business shirt. That's a shot at Roman.
Yep.
Interesting.
Do you see any other bloodline involvement? Solo, Sikoa?
I have a feeling we're going to see a few more main roster people. I think they're going to announce some matches if there's not been announced already by the time you're listening to this, but I'm sure they'll announce matches, and I'm sure they'll announce you'll see more main roster involvement, like the bloodline guys or Judgment Day, all that. You'll see all the bells and whistles, but WWE doesn't see AEW as competition, so they're just doing this for fun, right? Yeah. They're just booking Heyman, Cena.
Let's get this straight. NXT was always on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
And then AEW came on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
NXT goes to Tuesdays.
Yeah.
AEW coming to Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Where's this WWE pulling all this shit coming from?
Exactly. But yeah, a solid hangover edition coming hot off of No Mercy, keeping storylines strong. For as far as wrestling goes, I don't know necessarily what my match of the night was. It definitely wasn't the main event with Dom, but there was some good wrestling throughout the night. I wasn't necessarily turned off by anything, maybe Davenport and Gigi, but everything else, it flowed. It didn't drag and I'm looking forward to some matches coming forward, but I was really happy with No Mercy. So really, I can't complain about NXT. They're on a really good run. Ilya is our champion now. I like the stuff with Trick and Mello. It's very compelling. And next week we're getting some main roster throwbacks. So
yeah, we've got next week is going to be a big week, and then we've got the 2 Halloween Havocs just a couple of weeks after. So this kind of had to be the setup week, and I thought they did a good job. I think they did a good job of establishing Lyra Valkyria as a big contender. The continuation of the Mello and Trick story with Judgment Day and everything. I enjoyed it, but I wouldn't say I'd recommend a match to go out of your way to look back on this week.
I'd say next week is worth checking out. I know it'll be a tough one for people to pick. It's the Cope versus the GOAT. Cena versus Edge one more time on Tuesday night, just on different shows, and see who can do, because it's all about the ratings.
Yeah. I think Braun and Mello is a pretty big match as well.
Yeah.
It's a match they've only had at the PLEs, so TV for the first time. So I think they've done a good job in loading next week.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's what we had to say about NXT this week, but let's go to some of you to see what you thought. We have a Facebook group. I said join it. Poison Rana on the Facebook. Find the group, join it. We post feedback threads up on Tuesday nights. I'll read the first one here from Cameron from Bristol, who writes in, women heavy episode, and it was great. HBK showing how to showcase a women's division. Some people could learn from that. I thought the triple threat highlighted two of the most polished talents on the roster. Lyra, Becky will be great. Dawn beating Trick is going to annoy a lot of people, but I'm fine with it. And I think Dawn being on NXT longer is good for him whilst keeping the star power on NXT. Trick will be fine. NXT going big next week. Cody announcing Dusty Rhodes Cup? ? Tag team one would really sort the division out. Braun versus Mello will bang, and the people will complain about it too much main roster involvement. But Heyman and Cena are in corners, and Asuka will elevate Roxy. Looks like good use of main roster talent to me. Thanks for the content, lads. Much love. Thank you, Cameron.
Thank you, Cameron.
And some good points there for sure. I mean, yeah, you're going to have Cena in the corner, Heyman in the corner. Some people will tune into this for the first time and be like, oh, who are these guys? So, yeah, definitely.
We go to Magan.
Uh-oh.
I don't think too happy.
No, I could imagine he's upset.
I guess we're right back where we started. Dom is North American champion again, and it took 5 people to get it back from Trick Williams. Shit is unserious. To you all laughing at me in the stream and the comment section, don't test me. And here I was thinking that would be the end. Nope! I feel like an idiot for doing that. Anyways, the women's roster was on full display here with 4 matches on this show. The triple threat was very strong to set up a big match for Halloween Havoc Part 1 between Becky and Lyra. It was nice to see Tegan stop by to remind viewers that she got first. I thought he was going to say exists. Lyra cut a good promo at the top that made her relatable and down to earth. Now, with Dynamite being forced to air next Tuesday night on Tony Khan's birthday, no less, HBK and Co. aren't fucking around by adding Cena and Heyman to Braun versus Mello. Cody making an announcement, probably the return of the Dusty Classic, and Roxanne Perez versus Asuka in a dream match I didn't see coming. Are you fucking kidding me? They're putting all their balls on the table.
Damn.
Thank you, Megan.
Thank you, Megan. Very passionate, and I love it. Don't ever stop. We go to, who do we else? We got Fire Frank, BDE champ. He writes in, Mello and his well-known good friend John Cena. It's perfectly normal for him to show up. Cope with it. Sean, probably. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Mello's debut against Cole was the John Cena ruthless aggression, like bar for bar. Like his entrance was based off John Cena's entrance to WWE. So he's a fan of the C Nation.
Fan of jerseys as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
And we go to Ethan, who says, not a bad show. Opening tag wasn't too bad. Triple threat match was good. Can't wait to see Bird Lady versus Lynch in a few weeks. I didn't like the North American title change, but I get why they did it. Can't wait for next week, though. Also, I'm guessing Kelani Jordan versus Lola Vice is the finals of the Breakout tournament. Yeah, I'd agree.
Then we go to, who is that? That was
Ethan.
We have a lot here tonight. Okay, last one from Manny from Pacoma, who writes in, first things first, Sean really booked 4 women's matches on a 2-hour show, while Hunter can barely book 1 on a 3-hour show. Give that man the pen. Next Tuesday is going to be an amazing birthday. Mello versus Braun 3 is going to be no bread, no water, just meat. Cody Rhodes, Saraya defending her title on Dynamite. Wait, what's going on? Is that one sentence? All that's missing is Tiffany finally making her rightful place as the 3rd member of Pretty Deadly. I think she's above that.
Yeah,
yes, boy. I know you just really love Pretty Deadly, Manny, but yes, boy, as he writes. He continues, overall, pretty wild episode of NXT. I'm looking forward to Lyra versus Becky in a few weeks. What if Rock the Dwayne Johnson shows up to rock bottom his Donner for joining a cult? Project Rock, Terra Mana, Zoa, $7 Productions, Under Armour.
Yeah.
Thank you, Manny.
Thanks, man.
I think Manny was having some Terramana last night.
I'm amazed. Like, I didn't realize you guys had as much Terramana during Wrestle Dream.
Yeah, Wrestle Dream was amazing.
I really didn't drink much.
Oh yeah,
during that, but yeah,
we did some. My new favorite drink is tequila, grapefruit, a little bit of soda.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you, Manny. And Terramana is delicious. Manny wrote that piece of feedback with only $7 in his pocket.
Good for Manny.
Thank you, everyone, for writing in there. And everyone in the YouTube chat, everyone's going off at Megan because he's upset about Dom. But I hope everything's peaceful.
Calm people.
Yeah.
Be nice.
Be nice to each other. That was NXT. That was Up Next. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to us and appreciate you listening to us wherever you may be. We do Poisonrana, like we mentioned. We do a show every Sunday talking about everything in wrestling. So this Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, live on YouTube. Audio up later on that feed. And hey, you like podcasts on that very free feed. Last week, it's also on our YouTube. We did a best match ever, looking at the best of Bray Wyatt, where we looked through his whole career. This was such an awesome show, and definitely got to pat ourselves on the back for honoring Wyndham Rotunda and The Fiend and Bray Wyatt, and looking through the whole career of him and kind of remembering him. And it was a lot of fun to do so as well.
I really enjoyed this one, and I think there were a few matches that kind of surprised us a bit. I think being stuck in the moment of wrestling and everything, and taking a step back and watching a few years later, you start to appreciate things in a different way. So I really enjoyed that show and had a great time watching a bunch of those matches.
Yeah, so please hit that subscribe, Poisonrana in your podcast app or on YouTube, and check out all the other stuff like our Patreon as well. Escape from New York, our No Mercy review, Was Next, so many different things, and it's only $5. And that new Spotify link feature is awesome. You can scroll through and see all the shows that we've done and read the descriptions of everything we've done, and realize that we podcast a lot. So go check those out if you need more podcasts at your leisure, and follow us at Poisonrana Pod on Twitter and Instagram. Appreciate everyone in the chat. Appreciate you guys. We'll be back next Tuesday, I guess, somehow, some way.
Yeah.
For this big edition of NXT, the big guns indeed. So we will see you there. I myself, Braden Herrington, Twitter, Instagram at the Bray D.
And I am at Davie Portman.
That's it. That's all. Take care. Goodbye. Be safe. And mama say, mama kusa.
Ahoy!
First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes. You know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you could never really know what's up next.